Donnie and Dhali. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Okay, let's bring in John Garrett. Cheech. John, how are you? That was fun.
I'm good. I don't agree. I agree with you, Donnie. It's all the playoffs. I don't think the Oilers care, and I don't think the Canucks care too much about it either. 5-0. I think getting in their head, and that's what you mean, Rick. I'm sure is that now they're 5-0 against the Oilers, and they're in their head. But the fact that they came back from 4-1 in this game and were able to win it in regulation, no less.
Yeah,
I think that that's something that is more of a factor than 5-0. I think now they're 1-0 in a game that they were down 4-1 and came back, and the Oilers just give up so many chances. It's you watch them play and you think, okay, they've got great offensive talent. Even in the first period when they were ahead 2-0, Connor Garland, a clean cut breakaway from outside the blue line in, and a couple of other good chances. They only had 5 shots according to the shot statistician at Rogers Arena, but I thought that they had more than that, and I thought they had some great quality chances in the first period, and they continued. And it just, if Stuart Skinner isn't decent, and he made a couple of good saves, but he let in a couple of stinky goals, and the Oilers' defense, I thought the Canucks on the Ekholm goal, if you're going to block a shot, block a shot. Well, the Oilers, same thing. Nikita Zadorov, and I thought he was absolutely great. And speaking of statisticians at Rogers Arena, and I'm sure you've got the final event summary in front of you, look at Nikita Zadorov's, the number of hits he had in that game. I thought he was great, and especially on Evander Kane. And they only credited him with 1 hit in the entire game. I mean, what game were they watching?
Yeah, and he was going after he's going after Draisaitl as well, and it was everybody was well aware that Draisaitl was injured. Shelovs, and on the broadcast, John, they talked about some of the analysts, some of the ex-NHLs talked about how they were a little surprised he was in goal for the third period. He had a tough start. What did you see?
Well, I think Kelly was assuming, and Craig kind of gave the implication that, okay, and I like Craig's take on it better than Kelly's. I hate to say that, a fellow goaltender, but I don't think Kelly paid attention to that game in Nashville where the Canucks came back and it looked like they were dead in the water and came back in the last 5 minutes and then won it. I think Craig took that into consideration. And Seelows is in there, and he'll hold the fort. And he wasn't great; there was no doubt about that. But he's a fighter, a battler, and he's got some luck going with him too. That shot that went through his legs at the end and came out the other side. And, nobody got it, and the post when he was looking the wrong way. Stuart Skinner and on Dakota Joshua's goal, and this is, you hate to pick apart. Skinner wasn't very good. But that's one of those. And, okay, you're on the road and you don't know the bounces as much. But that shot that misses short side, okay, look at which side he's looking over. Originally, he looks over his left shoulder. That shot that misses short side from that side, we'll get another look at it here. Okay, that guy's shooting from that side. It's going to come out the other side. And instead, he's looking over his left shoulder where he should be looking over his right shoulder. He look over your left. No, too late now. And by the time he does look over his right shoulder, the puck's in the net. And that's goaltending 101. The shot from that side, it's going to carry him off. Billiards player, the caroms off the glass, comes out the other side. So you look and get your body turned that way right away. And he didn't look very good. And then the Connor Garland goal was stinky. But it got faked out on the fake shot. And okay, here's the shot. Oh, freeze, and then you never get down again. And look at where he ends up. He ends up behind the goal line. And that shows how much. And he is one guy that can be rattled. And you look at last year in the second round, he got the hook 3 times. And he was good early in this game, and then it started to go south, and he wasn't very good. And you can see the feet are moving, he's sliding. And to me, the Canucks, they just kept on coming. They kept on coming, and they believe. And I think that's the thing that Rick Tocchet was thinking going into the third period. Well, if I change the goalie, I'm almost telling the rest of the players that, okay, we're giving up on this one, and we're getting ready for the next one. Whereas if you leave them in, you just chip away, you get one, and then you get another one, and all of a sudden you've got three.
You know, you're doing a great job of goaltending analysis. If people are watching the show, and you know they are, you're going to get a job offers as a goaltending coach somewhere in the National Hockey League. John,
yes.
What happened?
Do you know I was a goaltender consultant for the New York Rangers one year when Roger Nielsen and Coley Campbell were the coaches for the Rangers. Mm-hmm. And John Van Beesbroek and Mike Richter were the goalies, and it was Mike Richter's first nomination for the Vezina Trophy. So there you go.
And Mike Richter wasn't. You had some pretty good goaltenders to work with. Van Beesbroek and Richter, not bad. Yes. Hey, John, what happened with the Oilers in this game? Rick and I just talked about it. Just 6 shots in the second and third periods combined. I know Draisaitl was hurt. Were they holding back too much? Were they sitting back too much? What happened?
Oh, I think that's part of it. That's part of it. But I know you've got the summaries in front of you. Look at the face-offs. And Elias Lindholm, 14-4. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you're trying to get things going, and JT Miller. So they combined the two who took most of the face-offs for the Canucks. What were they, 25-11 or something?
Lindholm was 77% tonight.
JT Miller, 111, lost 7.
Yeah, so if you're a control team like the Edmonton Oilers, and you don't have the puck to start with, mm-hmm. and who do they have back on defense that, okay, Darnell Nurse, Ekholm, they're not Quinn Hughes. And even Nikita Zadorov, what a play he made on the Connor Garland goal. That long lead pass, he took his time. And you can see that there is a playoff veteran defenseman, and he's played the Oilers before. And, okay, he's going to take a penalty with Draisaitl. Is that a good trade-off? That's a pretty good trade-off. Let's go 4-on-4. And if you're the team trailing, 4-on-4 is always an advantage because you got more ice to work with, and the other team is going to be sitting back protecting, and you can work. And I thought it was a great strategy play by Zadorov. If you're going to get a penalty, take off Draisaitl, who is one of their key guys, and then create a 4-on-4 so you've got some open ice.
Okay, so, John, what does this do for the Canucks? Everybody picked – you saw the 24 ESPN guys, 23 picked the Oilers. But what does this do for the Canucks' confidence going now forward and saying, hey, look, no one picked us to win the series. We won the opener.
Yes. Nobody picked the Canucks to make the playoffs.
That's it.
Nobody picked the Canucks to get 100 points. No, I mean, nobody picked the Canucks to be as good as they've been this year.
Yeah.
And now they proved it. And I think the confidence level has to be great for the Canucks. But that seed of doubt in the Edmonton Oilers, and that to me is the major thing. Sure, I think it's going to be a longer series, but the Edmonton Oilers now have to think, okay, if Stuart Skinner plays another game like he did, and the Canucks, what did they have? 13 goals in the 6 games that they played nationally. They have 5 in regulation in this game.
Yep.
They could score that JT Miller tip. You take another look at that tip, and how much room did he have? And where he tipped it, the stick is almost in his feet. And Brock with a hard pass and look at almost on the goal line, and the stick is right in his skates almost, and he just angles it, perfect angle, and beats Skinner, who should have had it. But I mean, that's such a skilled play. I look at Skinner, he's waving at it instead of just get your shoulders over there. But look at the skill. There's hardly any room at all. And he did get a little piece of it, but that is a skilled play by Besser and Miller. And I think you talked about their confidence. Those two are just right on top of the mountain.
Well, there's another guy tonight, Lindholm, 1 goal, 1 assist, +2, 5 hits, 5 shots, 77% in the faceoffs. What a monster game from Lindholm.
modern roster game for him. But how about Dakota Joshua?
Yeah.
+3
Plus
in
3.
13 minutes or
Yep.
make the most of the time
That
you're
whole
on the
line.
ice. And he
Yep.
had lots of hits too. Dakota doing what he does, and he's going to be very effective against the Oilers because they're a team that doesn't, especially their defense, doesn't like to be pressured.
Hey, John, just before I let you go, I want to talk about the evolution of Brock Besser. We just saw him set up JT Miller on Miller's goal there. He was out at the end of the game blocking shots. How far has he come as a 200-foot player?
Oh, and his defensive coverage, like his angles on the forecheck and angles defensively. I was a little disappointed on the Ekholm goal. I think he lost the angle to the net on that one. But he is so smart and so believing in himself right now at both ends of the ice. And Rick Tocchet obviously has great confidence in him. And I think that that's one of the things that Brock continue right from the start of the season. He got off to such a great start with those hat tricks right away in the first 2 or 3 games or whatever he had. And it's continued on. And he and JT Miller, the two guys, and Suter tonight wasn't as good as he has been, but the other two guys, they can carry him. And to me, it's the two stars were stars.
Okay, John. John Van Beesbrook and Mike Richter are giving you 2 thumbs up for the job you did with them, and the job you did today with us as an analysis. This was just fabulous.
Well, you'd like this one, Donnie.
Yeah.
Guess what? They used to send me VHS tapes.
Yeah. Not beta. Not beta.
Coley Campbell would put 3 or 4 games together on a VHS tape and send it to me, and I'd analyze it, and then they'd fly me in once a month, and we'd go out for a couple of beers, and we'd talk goaltending, and I was a goaltending consultant.
Wow. Rick used to get VHS tapes in the 80s, too, but they had nothing to do with goaltending, John.
Whole different ball of wax. Whole different ball of wax, John.
Special room at Blockbuster.
That's
right behind that curtain.
Yeah.
Tom's video.
Thanks, Cheech. We'll talk to you on Friday.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.